Thank you so much, Mr. Fahim Fazli, for your time today, taking your time in interviewing so that we can learn more about you. We are live on Facebook right now. Hello, everyone. It's such a great honor for KabulReads today that we have Mr. Fahim Fazli in our interview today with us. We will be talking with him about his life and as an actor and also as an author. We are greatly thankful for your time.
Thank you. First, I want to thank you guys for inviting me to your show. I never done an interview with Afghans. I'm honored to be part of this show. And I want to thank you to the people of Afghanistan. And I want to thank you for the way you guys put it together in this show and this website and KabulReads. I'm very proud of you guys.
Likewise, thank you so much. So I will start with my first question. Sure. I have read about you prior to the interview, and I understand that you have Afghan roots. So if you could tell us, where were you born? When did you leave Afghanistan, and how did you end up in Hollywood?
First of all, I want to tell to Afghan people, I'm proud to be Afghan. I'm proud to where I came from. I was born and raised in Kabul, Quartier Parwan, I say Duam Quartier Parwan. I was born in 1966, Zajgash, Afghana. And when 1979, when the Russian invaded Afghanistan, my dad was president of National Bank. My mom was midwife for the president of Afghanistan. And our family was in danger and we have to escape. We didn't left by our own choice to leave Afghanistan. Otherwise, we never leave Afghanistan. We love Afghanistan. We have to do a hijrat because a member of our family got killed by Russian. And my mom was in danger because she was working as a midwife for the president of Afghanistan. My dad was in danger. We lost member of families overnight. They disappeared, they buried them alive. And my mom, my two sisters and brother made a decision, leave first because to make sure we're not gonna pull a red flag on we escaping. And my dad hold me and my brother stay in Afghanistan for 3 years. My mom left first because make sure nobody knows we're leaving. And basically we call it hijrat. We did the hijrat. And 3 years later, meanwhile, I was in Afghanistan, young boy, I was 12 years old. I was helping the freedom fighter, the Mujahideen, propaganda papers, flyers, and as much as I could damage the Russian, the communists, I did. And one day my dad's come over 5 o'clock in the morning. We were that time when we were in Kote Sangi because we left our house, make sure nobody follow us, make sure the KGB no follow us to where my mom is, where my sister is. Then 5 o'clock in the morning, we ended up to go towards Polacharki. We got in the Jingo trucks and we headed towards Surubi. And we ended up walking towards Palachanar. 7 days, 7 nights, took us 7 days, 7 nights. We walk with, of course, with Coyote, this Mujahid was helping us. We ended up to Pakistan to Palachanar, then we went to Islamabad, then went to the American embassy. We knew my mom was in America at that time with my two sisters and their brother. And after that, we stayed 2 years in line in refugee camp, and we found our mom. After 5 years together, we were separate because the communists separate us. And we go to United States. We came to United States as a refugee, asylum refugee. Asylum means we didn't have a country because the Russian kicked us out. And ended up to Hollywood, and that was my dream, that was my passion, and follow my dream.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I mean, it's touching, it's inspiring, and at the same time, it's heartbreaking. As you said, we never leave Afghanistan by our own choices unless we are given a choice, unless we are left with a choice. Well, how did you end up like in Hollywood?
Uh, that was my dream since when I was at 5 years old, 6 years old. I will always pass. I was going as Istiqlal, the Maktab, the school in Istiqlal. I was walking from Karte Parwan to all the way down to Sharnau, and I always look at the movie theater at Baristan, and I saw Salam Sangi's poster. Salam Sangi was my role model. I was 12, 13 years old, and I want to say, I want to become like him one day. And I'm so glad I follow his footsteps. And I was admired as the way he is rough looking, beard and tough looking. And that was my dream. I asked myself, what's my dream? What's my passion? What's my hobby? And work very hard. I was working as a dishwasher. I worked at pumping gas. I was working as fast food, cleaning toilets, make sure I follow my dream and go courses, classes. And I start from zero to become as an extra, then later on go front of the camera. Then I have a speaking part. And thanks God, I was speaking Pashto and Dari, and that was my benefit to get all these roles in Hollywood. And that was, you have to born with a dream. If you have a dream, you can do anything you want to do.
Well, that says a lot to so many of us watching right now. We learn a lot from your story. You have been in many famous movies, and some of them were stories of Afghanistan. How did you feel acting in a part from your homeland?
First of all, I was the first Afghan to start in acting in 1986. And a lot of people was laugh at me, say, why don't you go become a doctor or become a lawyer? But there was only one support I was getting from my mom. My mom was my role model, and I want to be front of the camera. That was my passion. I was doing a lot of drama in Maktab Istiqlal school, and just that was my dream. That was my dream, and the other benefit was I had, because I speak the Pashto, I speak Dari, and all you would know who has the real original Afghan and has to be fit in with the character. And some of the jobs I lost to Iranian, to Arabs, to others. I mean, I'm not the same age as they are. Depends what age I'm playing, what character I'm playing. Most of the characters I'm playing as a warlord, a father, businessman. And as long as I speak Pashto and Dari, and I get the job, and they know me already, I'm established with Afghan culture. I know the culture in Afghanistan, and I get the jobs. Sometimes I don't get the jobs because the age is different. They give it to Iranian, to Arabs, to others.
Okay. And I would like to ask, what is it like meeting famous stars like Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, if I'm pronouncing them correct, and Clint Eastwood?
First of all, my role model was Salam Sangi. Like I told you, I was in Afghanistan. Salam Sangi was my role model. I'm so glad I met him. I worked with him in the movie Charlie Wilson in Morocco. And first things I saw when I was 12, 13 years old, he was an older guy. And I saw him after 35 years later in Morocco. And I right away ended up, I go kiss his hand. He say, who are you? I'm one of the young boy from Karte Parwan, and I want to be like you. I'm kidding.
It's amazing, like hearing your story. I would like to show you. Yeah.
And Tom Hanks and Bruce Willis and Bill Murray, all these other guys, they're bonus. But my role model was Salam Sangi.
Great. I would like to show you a picture, and that I would like to hear from you as your experience. This picture is actually from my family's favorite movies that we watched together, and we absolutely love it. I would like to hear from you.
Sure.
What is it about? What was the story?
This movie is 12 Strong, which is the first time the American come in from northern Afghanistan, which is helping General Dostum. And I was one of the General Dostum's commander. I was the one helping, and other commander, Yusuf, we were helping the America how to defeat the Taliban. And we were, if there wasn't John of Dostum or Northern Alliance or Northern Alliance, no way United States entered to Afghanistan. With helping John of Dostum and Northern Alliance and all these other Mujahideen was in Northern Afghanistan, we were the ones show them how to defeat the Al-Qaeda, how to defeat Pakistan, how to defeat Taliban, and we're the one help them out. Of course, they help us with the plane and weapons, and these movies, we had a pretty big role. Afghan had a big role. And you know, Afghanistan's graveyard of empires. No one can conquer Afghanistan. Oh, by the way, it's very easy to invade Afghanistan, very hard to get out. But we did help American to how to kick the Al-Qaeda and terrorists out from Afghanistan. And basically the American and Northern Ireland and other Afghans from South and East, West, which is Karzai coming from South, and Abdullah was coming from East, and Dostum's coming from North, and other Northern Alliance coming from Northeast. We got Afghan united defeating the Al-Qaeda, and we kicked them out. And I'm very proud of this movie.
It's absolutely an amazing movie. I truly love it.
Based on true story, which this movies show how Afghan, how good fighter we are. And you have to understand, we Afghan in America, we're very proud, especially myself, I'm proud, I call myself, I'm Afghan. We're the graveyard of empires. I wish we let the empires come and build us, give us technology, but we keep defeating them. Hopefully in the future, we will know how to keep them, not get involved with our religion, with our culture, to help us up to build Afghanistan.
Exactly. As you mentioned previously, your family is from a royal lineage, let's say. Your father worked as the president of the National Bank, and your mother as the midwife, as you said previously, for the president of Afghanistan. How did it feel to leave as a refugee and then end up as a famous Hollywood actor?
Be honest with you, first of all, none of us wants to leave Afghanistan, but we got forced out. And like if someone's kicked you out from your own home and you stand up in the street, you don't have a house, you don't have a light, ended up with Pakistan 2 years as a refugee, being abused by Pakistani police, being abused by a Pakistani government, and come to America, find your root, where you came from. I was crying for years. I was crying because I lost all my friends in jihad. I lost all my friends on dying. Some of them became a communist, some of them they became a freedom fighters, some of them they became a individual. They all escaped. We all took off. To become as a refugee, as come to America, we have to start it from zero. I was 19. I was very upset. I left my homeland. I'm coming here, not word of English, and to study. And I found myself, I asked myself, what's my dream? What's my passion? What's my hobby? What's my, what I want? Then I follow it. I work very hard. Like I say, I was washing dishes. I was cleaning toilets. I was sweeping the streets. I worked so hard to get that far, and I'm proud to be part of Afghan culture. I'm proud to be part of Afghan actor in America, and I want to be a good example for other Afghans.
You're a great example, Mr. Fahim Fazli, and we are so proud to have you. So since KabulReads is about book reading, promoting book reading culture, I would like to ask a few questions that are related to book reading and similar. My first question would be, can you tell us about the book you wrote by the name of Fahim Speaks, and tell us what is it about?
Fahim Speaks my experience of how I was born, how I escaped Afghanistan, how I ran away from fought the Russian, how I helped the freedom fighters, how I became a refugee, how I ended up to America, how I ended up to become actor, author. I wrote all my experience. And in 2009, I want to go back to Afghanistan as a culture technical advisor for US Marine. And I want to go see in my own eyes what my Afghan go through. I was in Kandahar, I was in Helmand, Farah, Herat, Laghman, I was in Jalalabad. I want to go see it in my own eyes what the American doing with these propagandas, news this is, the Taliban's this, the Taliban this. The Taliban is not bad people. The Mujahideen is not bad people. It's a politics. Everything is about politics. If everything, why they're in Afghanistan, why did people get innocent people get killed. And I want to make sure go there to do the right translation, nobody get killed. And I wrote everything on my book. I wanted to express my feeling on this book. What's America about? What's KGB about? Why ISI is involved? Why the Taliban involved? Why Karzai was involved? I put everything on this book and tell the truth with what I saw in my own eyes.
And how long did it take you to write about your experience in this book?
When I was in Afghanistan and Helmand, I was recording everything to my experience. We were going to Helmand, we were going to Kandahar. I put everything in recording. And I was walking around and I was in one big meeting with generals, colonels, and a leader of the Taliban and the leader of the sub-governor. And one of the colonels, Colonel Michael Moffat, he's one of the great writers in New Hampshire. He said, I heard you're from Hollywood, you're here. Why don't you write a story about yourself? And I would say, let's do it together. And him and I, we put it together. It took us 2 years. Put it together. He was coming from New Hampshire to California. I was going from California to, we put it together. So he's a doctor of the book, how to write it. And I was telling the story day and nights. We will email back and forth to fix everything and make sure everything is accurate. It took us 2 years to write one book.
Wow. Well, there are so many of our Afghan new beginners who loves writing books and who reads a lot, and hoping they're watching or they will watch this video and learn from your experience. How can we get this book in Afghanistan? How can we get your books here?
First of all, you can buy it in Amazon, all over Amazon, but I would love to send a nice gift for you guys. I want to send a 1 dozen book for you guys from my own pocket to the Afghan people. And I hope they enjoy my story. And I was talking to Khalia John already how to send it. I'll make sure I'm sending my book to 1 dozen to your bookstore as a gift, and I'm honored to be part of the bookstore.
Thank you so much, and we so much appreciate that. I also want to mention, which is very important, you have a new book. I guess it's 2 months old, by the name of Blood and Family. Would you please tell us a little bit about that?
Blood and Family, what I saw, this is nonfiction. Fiction, I'm sorry. This is fiction. What I saw in Afghanistan in my own eyes, and after 9/11, what I saw, how the Afghan or the Muslim get treated in Afghanistan, in America. We were, everywhere we go, we had a beard, we have a turban, or we have Afghan clothes, we get finger point. And this country, we do have some racist issues, but depends. The 9/11 was, I don't know who did it, and I'm not gonna blame anybody who did it, but I don't blame them. There's 3,000 Americans die here, 2 towers fall down, and they look at us kind of weird. And I wrote this book, what my experience was in America, how they treat the Muslim, how they treat the Hindus, the Sardar, and how they treat the Afghan. And I put it together and I come out with a great story. This book is very, very, 90% is based on true story, 10% the reason I did a fiction because I don't want to give away.
Wow.
And I would love to send this one too for you guys in your library. I'm going to send it to you guys as well.
We would love, absolutely. It will be an honor for us. kind of looked at your social media accounts prior to the meetings. And I would like to ask, do you read the reviews of your books online? Like, do people write to you?
Of course, I want to read my review. I want to correct myself because I'm planning to write more books. And as a matter of fact, leadership, I'm part of this book, but I didn't wrote it. We have 5 people, this is me and all 5 people, how to become a leader. Leaderships, I'm part of this book too. Yeah, of course, I'm reading my review, make sure, so far, God thanks, there was no negative reviews. I put everything in the book, what I saw in my eyes, and I didn't lie, I didn't make it up stories. And I'm working with a great professor, Michael Moffat. He's reviewing. He has a doctor. He has a doctor to be in America. You cannot write a book by yourself or write a book and type it and tomorrow you publish it. You have to go review with publishers. You have to go review with the doctors, and you have to go with the professor. Make sure every word, every English is correct word. Yeah, those reviews. I'm always reading it, and I'm always get pumped up. What I come out with a new idea, when I come out with a new books, and I'm planning to write 2 more books in the futures, and I'm working on it right now. I'm just waiting for some professor or doctors come out to work as a team.
Amazing. Also, I would like to ask, do you like reading? Which is simple question, but an important one.
It's kind of interesting. I'm a good storyteller. I would like to tell a story, write a book, but I do read. I do read my scripts, my movie scripts, my TV scripts. I have so many scripts, like 1,000 pages. I'm reading it. And other things, reading is good for me too, because I memorize my lines, when I get in front of the camera, I don't have to think about it because I have photographic memories. Once I'm reading it, I register it to my eyes, to my brain, and everything is going to be easy. Yeah, I do read a lot, and I read a lot of quotations, and I read a lot of Sadis. I will read a lot of Rumis. I do read all these things.
Well, exactly. I mean, your movies, scripts are books itself.
Oh yeah, it's almost 200 pages. Each script's 200 pages. When I read these 200 pages of scripts, I have to know the story. It's almost like a book. Book become a script, or a script become a book. That's how the books started.
True, very true. And have you read Afghan writers' books, or like, if yes, who's your favorite writer?
My favorite is Jalaluddin Barhi, Said Jamaluddin Afghani. I'm reading in English. Sadi, Bostan Sadi, I'm reading on this in English. I'm more into it, Jalaluddin Barhi, Rumi, as Maulana said. There's so many good things. There's a book talk about religion, talk about love, talk about kindness, or talk about the flower, explain the flower, why the flower is there. And that's why I'm so attached to it. That's why I'm becoming spiritual, because I want to know why he's talking about that one cup of tea. He wants to know about, I want to know about that cup of tea, why it's so deep. That's why sometimes I do write quotations as well.
Right. And the reason we brought one of the reasons we started KabulReads was to promote reading culture, because we know how crucial role it plays in the development of a country, in the development of person itself. How crucial do you think reading is for a war-torn country? Unfortunately, we have to say, like Afghanistan.
The time I grew up, there was 90% of Afghanistan was uneducated, only 10 or 15% that time. But right now I'm seeing TV, movie, and you follow you guys. You guys learn a lot. You guys speak English better than us. You guys write English better than us. Writing or reading is very important. Education, if you don't have education, you're blind. If you don't know how to read, if you don't have education, they asked Churchill, the president of England, They ask him, why you're invading all these Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, all the other poor country. Why can't you invade Irish? Why can you defeat Irish? The reason, he says, the reason I cannot defeat Irish because they have education. These other country I'm invading, they don't have education. They're very easy to get manipulated. They're easy to sell themselves. They're easy to get bribed, rishwat. That's why, to me, we have to have education in Afghanistan. We have to bring the young generation to read and stand up, make sure we're not going to get manipulated by this one guy in a village, tell us, go blow up yourself, go do women's bad or animals bad. You have to use your own brain to understand why this man teach me. If you have enough education, if you have enough knowledge, you can Google why this guy say this, why this, what's the religion of the Quran, what's the religion of Christian, this, Islam. Everything is provided for you. If you can read, you can Google it, you can find it, you can find even your teeth hurt, you Google it, you find out, you can fix it.
Exactly. Well, reading is very important, and we are so proud as like KabulReads team to say that since we established, we were worried. I'm not lying, but we were worried. How can we invite so many people to read? And we were so amazed by the result, and that we have been having many people are reading. Many people are willing to spend on books, which is very important.
The reason I want to donate my books to you guys, if I save from 10 people, 1 people get educated, understand what's right, what's wrong, what's not getting manipulated, not become a fundamentalist, to understand his own brain, to respect women, children, others. If everything's coming from reading, if you have enough knowledge, if you have enough, what do you call it? Shuhur. Everything is going to be clear for you.
Exactly. On your Twitter, I saw that you always post like positive quotes, as you previously said. You love reading quotations. Do you think it plays a big role in society today?
Oh yeah, I want to be a good example. First of all, I want to fix myself from home. I don't care how famous I'm outside. I don't care how popular I'm outside. If I'm popular from among my wife, my children, my husband, my neighbor, I have to fix the house first. If I'm popular from here, bring everything from inside. They says, oh, this guy's famous, this guy's famous. No, you have to go ask this guy what's inside of his house, how popular he is, what a good father he is, what a good mother he is, or what a good brother he is. If you're a good inside, you can be good at. The reason I'm writing this code, I want to be a great role model for others. I want to understand people to wake up and smell the coffee, to do the right thing. If you write 10 questions, all bad things about yourself, and write all 10 questions, all good things about yourself, you can avoid these bad things day by day, get rid of it. It's going to be 30 negative energy come out from your body, and you build it up into positive energy.
Exactly, as I have read somewhere, I cannot recall right now, but they say change always starts from yourself. So
yeah, you have to start it. Doesn't matter how good you are, how popular you are outside. You have to go ask your wife, you have to go ask a husband or wife, your children, a little girl or your son, what kind of father he is, what kind of good example he is. And unfortunately, we have a lot of famous people outside, but inside the house, they're not famous.
Exactly, which is more important. Yeah. Like inside the house is more important than outside sometimes. Right. What great lessons we learned from you today, Mr. Fahim. I would like to ask, what is your general attitude toward life?
First of all, love yourself. If you don't love yourself, second, you have to believe. You have to have a belief. You have to believe God. You believe whatever religion you are. You have to have a confidence about yourself. You have to be a good example for others. If you don't love yourself, you cannot say, I love you. You cannot tell your wife, your husband, I love you. No, because I can see you don't love yourself. How could you be in love with others? And you have to have a dream. You have to have a passion. You have to have a hobby. And you ask yourself 6 questions. It's very important. Write it down, this one, please. First question, ask yourself, who am I? Who I want to be? Where I want to be? What's my dream? What's my passion? What's my hobby? If you complete these 6 questions, you don't have to answer it right now for me. You don't have to keep it to yourself, all whoever listening right now. But these 6 questions are very important. Who I am, who I want to be, where I want to be, what's my dream, what's my passion, what's my hobby. And this is going to be a very great lesson. If you know who you are, you find your God, you find your mazhab, you find yourself, you find your religion, you find your dream, you find your wife, you find your husband, you find everything, you find the right job, because you have to find it out. You have to figure out who this person is. If you don't know who this person is, you're fooling yourself and fooling others.
For whoever who's watching, have a dream, be confident, love yourself, and ask the 6 important questions that Mr. Fahim noted, which are absolutely important. I would like to know, in general, like, do you have any Afghan traditions in America?
A good friend of mine, I mean, actually my grandma, when King Zahir Shah was in Afghanistan, she came to America, visit my uncle. She says, Fahim, I saw Islam in America, but Muslim in Afghanistan. America, I know we hear propagandas, they're bombing, killing, shooting. It's nothing to do with politics. I'm talking about American culture, American people, American society. Hindu, he walked with the turban, walk around. We have a mosque, we have a church, we have a synagogue, we have a dharamsal, we have a Eid, we have a Barat, we have a Ramadan, we have every corner of the city's mosque, masjid. I'm be honest with you, this country show me how to be human. This country show me how to be insan first, then Islam, then Muslim. Not abusing women, not abusing flower, grass, tree, animals, streets, breaking bridges, breaking doors, not slamming the doors. Little things, stand up, get up, be polite. Little things, everything is in the Quran. And I promise you, if we know the Quran, the right whoever translated for us the right way, we are better Muslim than a lot of these Americans follow the Muslim Islam culture. And I'm telling you, I'm proud to be Muslim. I'm proud to be human. I'm proud to be respect other religions, Jews, Christian, Catholic, Buddhism. They're all children of God. We all come in from Adam and Eve. These people give us the freedom of everything. These people let us to put a pirantumban. Sometimes I'm walking with my languta, my pakol, and they say, hi, Fahim, how are you? They never look at me down. They never look at me, why you wearing this? That's the freedom we have in this country. And some of us, some of us says, oh, America is this, America this, America this. To me, if you don't like it, why don't you leave? If you're black, white, Christian, Muslim, just leave, go somewhere you're more relaxed. And I'm not saying I'm protecting this country. This country gave me more freedom. Do you think I have a chance to write a book about the military, my culture, and the other country? Do you think I have a chance to become an actor? Do you think I have a chance to other countries? I mean, they probably, shut up, you don't understand. Shut up, not me for me too, not me for me, not me for me. I was, until 7 years old, I thought my name is Nami for me. My dad always said, Nami for me, Nami for me. And now, I mean, it's sad. It is kind of sad. That's all coming from education. If we have enough education, if we know how to read, we know how to open our eyes, Everything is in the Quran. Everything is in the Bible. Everything is in Torah. Everything is on synagogue, Torah, all these, everything is there provided for us.
Well, you're very right. I always read that real Islam is about humanity. Like you become a good human first, you are a good Muslim.
Yep.
And this is funny actually, but also very important. Like always, they say that if you want to know how of a good human beings or good Muslims, like say foreigners are, you should first see how they treat their animals, how they treat animals in the streets, how they treat them inside their home, how they treat the plants, as you said, trees. So which is more important. That's what we are talking about, like real Islam.
This grass, this plant, this tree, God created for us. And we cut it, we burn it, we abuse women, we abuse animal, we abuse, why? Why? Because we didn't read. We have to read the Quran Pak. The Quran Pak, if we read it, the right translation, because we Afghan, we don't know how to read Arabic. We have to, somebody has to explain. Myself, I want to be honest with you. I call myself Muslim, I call myself, Alhamdulillah, but I cannot read Arabic. I read the Quran in English and I understand more. That's why I want to be a good example to others.
Exactly. In 2009, you returned back to Afghanistan as an interpreter, I guess, in Helmand, helping Marines. Do you ever plan on coming back to Afghanistan for work or just a visit?
First of all, I want to thank America for giving me a shelter to this country. This country saved me from the communists. I'm not Khorda hypocrites. That's what they call it. This country saved me from the communists. This country gave me a lot of things. And the reason I made a decision to go to Afghanistan, I want to go see in my own eyes. I want to see what my people go through, what my Kandari, Paishiri, Azora, Tajik, Uzbek, I went to all those cities. I saw in my own eyes and I did the right translation. I'm proud to call myself helping America in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is my birth country. America is my adopted country. I did a hijrat. No other country, Saudi didn't give us place. The other countries, they didn't give us. United States accept us, bring us here to save us from get killed. Yes, I would love to come back as a civilian. I'm honored to come back in Afghanistan. I want to go Korte Parwan. I want to have Shor Nakhot. I want to have Mantu. I want to go Baghbala. I want to go Sharnau. I want to go Panjshir, Solang. Karga, Parmond. I miss those places. I was the last time I was there 40 years ago, 45 years ago. Yes, well, I want to come back. Yeah. I want to come back, keep myself as Afghan. I would never change. Afghan is on my root. I'm always be Afghan. Doesn't matter how famous, how popular I get. I'm still Fahim Fazli Barakzai. I'm still Afghan, born in Afghanistan, raised in America.
Exactly. I mean, we hope there's peace in this country and unity among all, accepting each other as human beings first, and neglecting all the differences that we have. Right. And to have you one day back in this country.
Oh, I love to. I would love to come back, make a movie with. I heard so many successful actors in Afghanistan right now. And I never met them. Like the time I grew up, it was Salam Sangi was, and I heard so many TV shows going on, so many movies going on, and I'm honored to be part of them. And I want to come learn something from them. It's not only because I work in Hollywood, I know better, and I don't know enough. My mom always said, "When as soon as you say you know enough, you don't know."
Exactly, and that's how you learn more. That's how you explore more. Well, Mr. Fahim, your story is absolutely very deep and powerful, and many of our people can relate to the times you grew up in. First, my father can relate to that. What message do you have for Afghan people today?
Get education. education, follow your dream, follow your passion. Respect your women, your children, your brother, respect the weather, respect animals. You have to start it from yourself. If you don't know yourself, like I say, if you don't know that sixth question, who I am, who I want to be, where I want to be, what's my dream, what's my passion, what's my hobby, you're empty. Keep it steady, keep reading, keep educate. My mom always said, don't ever steal things, but you steal education. Education is very important. That's why we've been in war for 40 years. That's why we've been invaded by empires. That's why we've been manipulated by our neighbors, Pakistan, Iran, and Russia, other countries. That's why America is over there. It's because we're gullible. We believe, whatever people say, we believe them. We don't use our own brain. And reading and open your heart to people and welcome Afghan people, the most beautiful hospitality people. They're the most trustworthy people, and I know them. I know them from the bottom of my heart. I grew up and I'm always follow Afghan route, and I will never turn my back to Afghanistan. Never, never, never will. And all I'm asking you guys, respect your women, your children, your husband, your dog, your cat, your giyah, your kabal, your darach. Start it from yourself. Start it from yourself. If you don't do that, you be empty the rest of your life.
Thank you so much. You are undoubtedly a role model, a hero, and an inspiration for all of us who are watching you, for all of us who doesn't know you yet, for all of us who have been watching you, who are your fans. What is your advice to all of the youth who are pursuing, Afghan youth who are pursuing their careers in acting, who are already actors? They are named, they are labeled with very cheap words. What is your advice for them?
I have advice for these youngsters. Not only become actors, find out what you like, find out who you are, find out what are you good at it. Are you good with your hand? Are you good with your expression, your face? Are you good with your memorize? Are you good with medical? Are you good with science? Are you good with geography? Find your route. Once you find your route, and I'm asking the parents, please do not tell your kids, nako, nako, nako. You always say, buko, buko, buko. If you tell your kids, find out, what do you want to be? Don't be doctor, don't be actor or engineer because your mom wants it. Don't be a doctor, your dad wants it. Go what you want. If we follow our own passion, if we follow our own dream, trust me, we all gonna be successful. I mean, we push our kids to become a doctor, lawyers, engineers, this. Who's going to become an actor? Who's going to become a barfok? Who's going to become a dehqan? We have the richest people in America, dehqanon, farmers. They're the richest people. We have the richest people, shoemakers. Shoemakers, the richest people in America. You don't have to go after money. You have to go for your passion. You have to go what you like. What do you want? What do you sleep good? And like I said, if you don't know your dream, you don't know your passion, you're the emptiest person. If you're, by the time you're 13, 14, if you don't know what you want, I feel sorry for you. You have to figure out when you're age of 8 or 9. I was 80 years old. I know I want to become an actor. I want to become an author. I want to become a Marine soldier, police officer, and I did it. The reason I did it, because I believe myself. I believe who I am. I believe God. I believe my mom. I believe my dad. I take a dua from them. I tell them, please help me. And with support of my mom, my dad, my family, and myself, and God, I was empty. I was empty, and things happened. We left my birth country. The reason we left, we did a hijrat. We didn't have a choice. We get killed. 300 members of our family got killed overnight. We don't want to get killed. This is what they say when old days when Qatar come in, you have to do Ijrat to leave and do jihad. One is jihad, one is Ijrat. And I did it. I'm so proud of it to be, I call myself Afghan, and I'm proud of to be living in this beautiful country, to be a good example for Afghans, and leave a good legacy for Afghan, or leave a good legacy for my daughter, my son, and the rest of Afghan live here. And one day, hopefully, they mention my name in the next 200 years, what I did for this country and what I did for our country.
Exactly, and I hope, and I'm sure many parents are watching you right now. Parents are, of course, advisors, but they should believe in their children. They should believe in what their children want to pursue, so that they do not regret later, so that their children can become someone good.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's very simple. You sit with your son, your daughter, what do you want? What do you want to do? What do you look at? I'm pretty sure mom and dad knows what their son is good with it. What they're playing with glasses, they're playing with a little card, they have a mechanically brain, they have a video, acting knowledge. I mean, these parents not stupid. Parents know what their kid's going to be, but to provide them for them, to tell them, I'm son or my daughter, I love you, I'm being supporting you. I mean, be honest with you, my dad wasn't happy I want to become an actor. But in America, it's different. In America, being an actor, being an author, being a Marine, very accomplished. In our culture, acting, singing, I don't know now, the time I grew up, that was very low. And I hope the people change right now. I hope, because a movie bring a history to your family. Movie open the door for you. Movie educates you. When you even watch a movie like yourself, you say you got educated when the movie You 12 Strong, you saw it. You know the culture of what happened in northern Afghanistan, how the American ended up to Afghanistan. That's a very good education. If you watch a movie or read a book, the same thing.
Exactly. I want this interview to keep up. I want this to hear more from you. I want to, because it's a great learning experience for all of us, and I'm sure whoever is watching it wants the same. I would like to show you actually two things which are very important and would like to know about them, like to hear about them. What were they, and what? I will leave the explanation to you.
This is the President Obama letters, which is I'm honored. I'm not trying to be bragging about it. I don't want to. I'm honored as an Afghan, as an actor, as an author. My book is in White House, and President Obama read it and sent me back the letters. Say thank you for you received the book, and I'm honored. My book's right now on the shelf of White House, and I got this letter. I was very impressed. I start crying. I mean, President of the United States write me back and say thank you for the book, and they read it and they enjoyed the book, and hopefully my own Afghan's gonna read it one day. And the next one is President. The next one is President Bush. I don't know if you guys have that.
Yeah, I do. I want to show that as well.
Sure.
Here is it. Yeah. It's an absolute honor.
This is the funny part is when I send my book to President Obama, my co-author and some of my negative friends says, hey, they don't have a time for you. You're going to get a letter from them. They're going to say, thank you for your book. I got a letter from President Obama because I believe myself that's going to go in the White House. Then later on, President Bush took over after Obama, and President Bush was, President Bush was first, then President Obama. And you have to believe yourself. If you will not do something, and right now I'm part of the history of the United States and their library, a White House library and a Bush library and Obama's library, and my books are right there. And I'm very, thank God, thank you, God, and thank my mom, the gift, the power they give it to me. And I want to thank them.
It's an absolute honor for all of us. It's amazing. Like, we cannot even describe it in words. Since it's live, we wanted to take some questions from. We don't want to take your time. We are so thankful, and we know it's late in the night there. So we will just ask one question from the viewers we have here. So there is one question that says, when did you first make your debut in the Hollywood?
When I started first time?
Yes, exactly.
I started in 1986. Rambo 3, that was my first movie.
What was the movie?
Rambo 3.
Rambo 3.
Rambo
Wow.
3.
Okay, Rambo 3, okay.
Yeah, Rambo 3. I was pretty young. I was young and I was a horseman. I love horses and I'm a horseman. I know how to ride a horse. And the reason I got that job because I know how to ride a horse. Otherwise, I didn't have a big role, but I was being honored to be part of Rambo 3.
Exactly. I mean, this is being part of such hit movies is a great honor, and being your first experiences and even more pride
and
for all of us.
By the way, you guys, my first interview, Afghan interview. I done CNN, ABC, CBS. I done 1,000 American interview. And the reason I did it with you guys, because I did my homework with you guys and I review Shir John's all the messages, all the video, and John Shema. I saw your interview. What a polite, what a full of character, what a full of knowledge you guys are. And I'm honored to be my first Afghan interview with you guys. And I'm honored to be part of your show. And thank you. Thank you very much to accept me as your guest. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. I just want to say one last thing is that you previously mentioned that the books that you will send as gifts to us,
right,
you will send us for free, as you mentioned.
Of course,
we won't charge them for them either, and send them as gifts to our repeating customers. Give them out for free because we want them to benefit from them, to learn from your experience, because you're such an inspiration. You are a role model for all of us.
Usually I'm not a seller. Amazon sell this. I never sell. Sometimes I order my own book and I see people motivated, and I'm already ordering you guys 1 dozen, one of these and 1 dozen of these, and make sure you guys receive it. And this is my tofa for you guys, and tofa for مردم افغانستان as well.
تشکر بسیار زیاد آقای فهیم از وقتتان، از حوصله‌تان. Although it's late in the night there, and that's why we are very thankful.
Thank you very much, and thank you for Shir John. Thank you for you guys, and thank you for all your audience. And hopefully, I'm ended up one day to Afghanistan to be face-to-face meet you guys. And if you guys come into America, welcome to please stay. We have a guest house. You're welcome to stay with us.
Thank you so much. If you have anything lost or anything comments in the last, you can share it with us, or we will unfortunately have to end the call.
Okay, thank you very much. God bless. God bless Afghanistan. God bless America. God bless our people. And please read, have education. If you have education, you're not be khwarazar. God bless. Take care. Bye.
Exactly. Take care. Bye.